Happy 2026. Today I went on my annual January 1st prayer walk. As you can see, I have my list, although you probably can't read it. It was 15 degrees this morning around 9 a.m., so I was trying to move quickly. You also might hear my voice underneath this voiceover. That's me praying along the way. So I started my journey of walking every January 1st to do a prayer walk in 2023 and have continued no matter the weather. I walk around my neighborhood essentially praying a hedge of protection for myself, my family, my neighbors, and the neighborhood. So I kind of encircle it in campus. And if you can think of like the walls of Jericho, how they marched around until the walls came down. So for 2026, my list included praying for local and grassroots leadership, as well as the mayor and as well as the governor, to ensure that our community is not left out of things, and to ensure that we get all of the benefits and funding we need to have for our community. Up here, you're going to see me pan the camera to the left and the right. That's me praying for the alley, because people do go down the alley as well to take shortcuts. I pray for homeowners, renters, temporary lodging. People may be temporarily staying with family members. And I also pray for, of course, landlords, because, praying that there are no slumlords in our neighborhood, in our community. That's me panning out. If you can see, the lady has a dog, two dogs, and I'm trying to ensure and watch where she's going. I also pray for if I see any property under construction. I pray for the safety of the workers and that everything is done correctly, so they won't spark any fires or anything like that. If I notice a vacant building, I pray against squatters, and also praying that the owner, the landlord, the homeowner is also taking care of it as well, because when it gets cold, pipes bust. I pray for businesses that are in our community, that they bring value and not ruin our community, and there are some businesses that do just that. I pray for transportation, as people take public transportation, and that they will be safe and don't have to wait long. We also know during this time there is also the unhoused will ride the bus and public transportation to, have safe, and warm for them as well. So, and then there's been a lot lately of people that have had mental breakdowns and have caused people riding that public transportation harm. That's me. If you see a stop sign, that's me praying for the stop sign, because so many people run the stop signs and cause accidents along this very busy street. You might also hear in the background a car driving fast. So I do pray against road rage. That's me. I love to see beautiful decorations. I do pray against road rage and just people driving fast, running lights and stop signs and things of that nature. I also pray for children walking to school alone or in groups, and their parents that have to pick them up, afterwards. And so I pray for that. As I'm walking through the homes, by homes, I'm praying for any forms of abuse that may be there. That's me praying, although it's the mailbox, I'm praying for, all of our postal workers that have to come outside and deliver the mail. And as I was just saying, I'm panning down this street here because I'm praying for all of the children that have to walk to school, whether it be alone or in groups or with their parents, and for their safety of their parents as they have to pick them up as well. And like I said, as I pray for as I pass the homes, I do pray for peace in the home and that no one is suffering from any financial difficulties or food industry. That's a bottle there. Anytime I see any kind of trash just left out on the street, I do pray against littering, loitering too. I do pray against that, so that we can have a clean neighborhood down the major streets. We see the bikes here. I do pray for our cyclists. I don't think people use this divvy as much, but for people that do cycle, because people do cycle year round. Like I said, I pray for businesses. I was really surprised at 9 a.m. that the liquor store was already open, but it was. And then as I come up to this corner, there's more trash there, but again, praying for it. And as you're looking at the trash, you're seeing what's on the trash, you know what to pray for, right? So if you see a lot of, bottles, but although yesterday was the 31st, so that doesn't really count. But if it's a normal prayer walk in the middle of the summer, then you probably pray for addictions and things of that nature. Look at all this beautiful black ice that caused me to do a great dance. And like I was saying, as I pass the homes, I pray for peace in the homes and no one is suffering from financial difficulties or food insecurity. And if so, I hope that they can reach out into city services and get the proper help. Black ice. Do I tell you that? Black ice. I should get a gold medal for all of the spinning or the slipping that I was doing here. As I continue walking, I'm also praying against any forms of abuse, crimes of all kind, from theft to murder. I'm praying for every kind of addictions, trafficking, illegal businesses, and scams. I pray for peace, protection, safety, and God's wisdom and guidance for every homeowner, renter, or people that's living in the community. I also pray, like I said, against, the road rage. I hear a lot of, people having accidents because they're running that stop sign. So, and I also pray for our first responders, which I think is so important as well, because they are answering the call for all kinds of emergency. That's one of the stop signs that people don't stop for, and I hear a lot of accidents. But people don't, our first responders, they respond to everything that's out there. Look at that beautiful ice. Yes. They're out there. So I pray for them. And, although it's 15 degrees outside, moving kind of quickly. See, that's a house that's under construction that I pray for. Although it's 15 degrees, I still, moved kind of quickly, and it was okay. The toughest part was walking on the ice. So I encourage you, it doesn't matter where you live, to pray for things in your community. You can live in a gated community and there might be murder happening there. So just, I think it's important that we pray for our community to be, what we desire, a place of peace, a place of joy, and a place that we can all simply enjoy. This neighbor was nice. They shoveled, but there was still a little slippery ice there. So I was very careful as I was walking. Again, I love the beautiful decorations that they had placed out. But like I said, I do this every year, January 1st, to put a hedge of protection around my neighborhood, around my community, and it is something that I get out and do. This walk is always very strategic. I like to go early in the morning because, of course, no one's out because everyone's been, maybe they were at church or something like that. Well, as you can see here, it took me about 25 minutes to complete this walk. And indeed, I know that it is a walk that will be successful. So thanks for watching.